How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. You're about to see some seriously unhinged video clips that are trending right now. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this.
I gotta save my batteries, I only brought 3 batteries.
When popular YouTuber CJ Faison decided to camp alone in a notoriously haunted forest, he couldn't have known just how freaky the night would get.
Walk down that trail right down.
Pocomoke Forest is a vast, densely wooded stretch of land in Maryland, USA. It spans over 18,000 acres and is the setting for a collection of gruesome urban legends. There's tales of decapitation, wandering spirits, unhinged psychiatric patients with hooks for hands, and mysterious balls of fire that hover in the woods then vanish without a trace. The vlog starts with an exploration of an old cemetery on the fringe of the forest.
If you all saw a previous video of mine, this area behind me looks really familiar. This is actually the side of the Pocomoke Forest.
Suddenly, what sounds like gunshots ring out.
This cemetery right here was one that myself
This is a stark reminder that often reality is much scarier than any urban legend.
Sonny is out of town for a few days, and what that means is I gotta go and I gotta keep on making and creating. This is gonna be a long night.
The uploader begins by setting up camp and exploring the darkened forest.
Again, I wanted to go to somewhere like super remote, so as you can see, there's a nice little area around me. I walked for probably about 40 minutes or so, and I'm gonna show you kind of the way I came from.
While out exploring, he spots a light in the distance.
Oh,
he turns off his torch immediately so as not to give away his position.
that's somebody's light. That's somebody's light right there. All right, I gotta be able to make my way somewhere. That's somebody's light.
At first, it's reminiscent of the balls of flame that are rumoured to float through the forest at night time.
This is kind of weird. It's kind of been a standoff. I've had my lights off ever since.
But it soon becomes apparent that it's another person walking through the woods. Not knowing if they're friendly or not, and having heard gunshots already, the OP decides to hide in the dark and wait. It's 1:30 AM and the person just slowly walks through the forest.
I'm gonna die tonight.
The uploader isn't sure if it's a hunter or not, but they say the person is strangely tall and skinny.
Whoever that person is, they are not a hunter. Because there's no way in hell you just keep looking in the same area over and over. Not this late at night, at least. That person was really, really skinny. Like, tall and skinny. It was really strange looking. I'm sure you all...
Later, the OP says he can still hear strange noises in the distance, when suddenly, this happens.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Some kind of loud snapping sound can be heard and the camera holder runs from the scene in a panic.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Freaked out by the encounter, CJ seeks shelter in his tent.
Oh, jeez. Alright.
He eventually decides to use a spirit box to see if any spirits might be present.
Are there any spirits present here tonight?
Something appears to smash the side of the tent. The spirit box still flutters in the darkness. Somehow CJ musters the courage to spend the rest of the night in the forest. He films a few more updates.
But I don't even know if there's anything on the footage, but I heard something just a little earlier, and it almost sounded like I don't know how, like, you know, like antlers like climb together. It almost sound like two deer like fighting with each other.
Then, after getting some sleep, this happens. Someone is lurking just outside of the tent. The next morning, CJ hikes out of the woods, happy that the long night is finally over.
I thought I'd never get out of this freaking place. Hopefully nobody's messing with my truck.
Creepy Outdoors, an emerging YouTube channel dedicated to unveiling the eerie mysteries of America's most notorious forests, recently aired an episode that left viewers on the edge of their seats. Known for venturing into areas steeped in urban legends and local lore, the channel's latest venture involves camping deep within an isolated woodland, miles away from the nearest town.
Everything here is dead. Or dying.
The episode begins with the YouTuber arriving at the site, setting up camp, and lighting a fire. As dusk falls, the YouTuber starts to explore the surrounding forest. The YouTuber describes an unsettling sensation of being watched.
I'm not sure if you guys ever seen the Blair Witch Project, but damn, this is just giving me Blair Witch Project vibes.
Walking deeper and deeper into the woods, something truly chilling happens. The sudden utterance in such a secluded setting would be enough to poop one's trousers, but somehow the camera holder maintains composure.
Oh, hi. What the hell?
Rattled by the encounter, the YouTuber considers the possibility of it being a prank by another camper. Yet the profound isolation of the campsite and the lack of any evidence of other people in the area make this theory difficult to substantiate. This episode of Creepy Outdoors not only highlights the natural allure and solitude of America's forests, but also taps into the primal fear of the unknown that such remote places often evoke. Whether the voice was the result of a practical joke or something more unexplainable, the incident remains a haunting experience that stirs the imagination and perhaps awakens the ancient human fear of the dark and what lies within it. TikTok user Briscoe Park, a content creator renowned for exploring abandoned and eerie locations across the United States, recently shared a chilling experience. In this episode, Briscoe Park ventures deep into a remote swamp, far from civilization. As he paddles his canoe through the dark, murky waters, an unexpected and unsettling sound fills the night air. According to the user, he was miles away from the nearest town, leaving him with no logical explanation for the sounds. The video has quickly gone viral, with viewers speculating about the origins of the mysterious bells. Could it be a ghostly remnant from a forgotten settlement, or perhaps something even more otherworldly? Whatever the source, this haunting encounter is sure to stick with both Briscoe Park and his audience for a very long time.
Give it the full 24 hours, I think.
This next freaky camping experience has become something of an internet legend. Project Amber is a popular travel and camping YouTube channel that documents the roving exploits of CJ and his partner Emma. In 2018, while driving through the French countryside in his old converted ambulance, CJ had to pull over for the night to fix his malfunctioning camper fridge. The area was an old, overgrown camping spot in a rural forest with no one visible for miles and miles. While filming the vlog about fixing the fridge, things take a turn for the eerie.
Right. Now I'm sure with house fridges you're supposed to... I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at?
Soon, CJ's dog begins acting strangely.
To... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there. You seen something I'm not?
Just down the trail, where his dog keeps looking, there's an old abandoned well with a heavy metal covering.
And originally I was going to go and park there, and I saw the well. Instantly started thinking about the ring, which when I was about, I don't know, I think it was about 10 when it came out, scared the out of me. For like a month I didn't sleep properly.
The next night, CJ records an update for his Instagram. Take a listen.
A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like "Aah!" Like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. Got to this old well and it stopped.
He says he could hear some loud moaning coming from near the well, but as soon as he got near it, it stopped.
A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like "Aah!" Like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. Got to this old well and it stopped.
That's when he claims to have seen a mysterious woman walking through the woods.
This girl appeared, dressed like kind of like a monk, no shoes, no hair.
When he went to double check on her, she was nowhere to be seen.
So I carried on a bit and then thought I better double check. Went to go and find her again. She's gone.
A short while later, he manages to get a glimpse of the woman on camera. The OP says that normally his dog Lance runs over to people excitedly to greet them. This time, he didn't. Instead, he just nervously looked over in the direction of the woman, whining.
Keeps looking over in that direction of where it is. So I'm like, nah mate, I might move.
The last time CJ saw the woman, she was running at full pace through the forest. Then she simply vanished and was never seen again.
I saw the girl another 2 times. The last time I was near the van and she was running through the forest. I left. I was gone.
The following day, once the fridge had time to settle, CJ promptly left the strange abandoned camping area altogether.
Nah, maybe there's an explanation to it all, but I wasn't sticking around. I left. I booted it. I'm about 50 miles from there now.
Since this video, viewers have scrutinised the encounter, hoping to come up with an explanation. Many have noted CJ's authenticity and that he genuinely seems freaked out by the incident.
She's gone.
The vast majority of the channel's content is about travel and camping and doesn't sway into the realms of the paranormal at all. Nor does CJ do any pranks or skits or anything that would make it seem as though the encounter was staged. So what's to be made of this eerie event then? Who was the woman? Where was the moaning coming from? And did that locked up well have anything to do with it? I'd love to hear your take on this one. Have you heard of it before? And do you think something paranormal was at play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Camper Vibe, a popular YouTube channel with over 110,000 subscribers, is well known for its engaging content centered around camping and renovation. However, one particular episode stands out from the rest, capturing a solo camping trip to one of the UK's most infamous locations, the Screaming Woods of Dering near Pluckley in Kent. Often cited as the most haunted woods in the UK, these woods hold a chilling reputation that would test the nerve of even the most seasoned of adventurers. The YouTuber behind Camper Vibe decided to venture into these woods for a 48-hour solo camping trip. As a solo female wild camper accustomed to braving the outdoors alone, she normally doesn't get easily frightened. Yet the eerie atmosphere of Dering Woods, coupled with their haunted history, presents a new kind of challenge. Dering Woods, also known as the Screaming Woods, have been named for the alarming sounds that often permeate the night. Terrifying screams and mysterious footsteps that echo through the dense fog. Local lore is rich with tales of ghosts, including a suicidal army colonel from the 18th century and a gruesomely murdered highwayman. These spectral figures are said to roam the forest alongside sightings of unsettling black shadows that stalk passers-by. The camping trip begins normally enough as the YouTuber sets up her camp deep within the woods, cooking steak and chips by the fire. However, as darkness envelops the woods, the tranquility of the night is soon shattered by chilling sounds.
I don't know if you can see, a Cadbury's Pot of Joy. Yogurt, basically, chocolate yogurt. Sounds like kids screaming.
While sitting by the fire, the camera picks up a rather strange noise.
So, I should sleep well, I would think. I should sleep well, I would think. I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big bean? What was that noise?
However, it's at 2 AM that things really start to get unnerving. It sounds like someone is just outside the tent. Then, at 3:50 AM, a sudden disturbance sets the forest's crows into a frenzy, cawing loudly as if alarmed by an unseen predator. So then, could the rumours of the haunted Screaming Woods be true? This episode of Camper Vibe leaves the question tantalisingly open, inviting viewers to delve into the mysteries of one of Britain's most haunted locations, where history and horror intertwine beneath the canopy of the ancient woodland.
Dat is een deur, hè? Hallo?
Belgian urbex YouTuber Ciaz, known for exploring abandoned places across Europe, recently experienced a nightmarish adventure that's left both him and his viewers deeply unsettled. Typically, Ciaz's videos feature the exploration of eerie, forgotten structures.
De bedden staan er nog en de gordijnen hangen nog. Deze kamer is wel vet, joh.
But this particular episode took an unexpected, terrifying turn. The video begins with Ciaz and his friends venturing deep into a dense forest, filming their nighttime exploration.
Oh, daar is. Dat is daar rechts.
As they journey further into the woods, the group begins to hear something unnerving.
Wat? Dat is toch niet mijn auto of zo, hè?
Despite their growing apprehension, they press on, determined to uncover the source of the disturbing noises.
Hallo? Hallo?
However, their curiosity soon turns to terror. Watch what happens.
Hallo? What the? What the?
Watching that again, a woman dressed in a nightgown holding an axe emerges from the darkness. Shocked and disoriented, the group flees in panic, unsure of what to do next.
Hey!
They quickly call the police, fearing for their safety.
Ja, ik heb een rode auto met witte letters op de achterop. Ja. Ja, iets verder, maar ik kan... Moet ik al net...
After a tense wait in the pitch black forest, the police arrive and apprehend the woman.
Ja.
Wat was je hier aan het doen?
Ja, ik bezoek heel vaak verlaten gebouwen.
Ja.
En ik weet dat hier een verlaten camping is. Ik ben hier 7 jaar geleden nog eens geweest.
Ja.
The encounter with the authorities, however, does little to ease the group's nerves.
Mevrouw, laat ik hier. Hier blijven.
Maar wat is het?
Je gaat hier blijven. Mevrouw.
Nee, dat kan ik niet doen. Dat kan ik niet doen. Nee.
Oké, gedaan. Nu is gedaan, ja? Pak je land.
As the officers question the woman, Siaz captures a moment of pure fear on camera, his hands trembling as he drinks from a bottle of water. Fortunately, no one was harmed during this harrowing incident, but the unsettling encounter left a lasting impact on Siaz and his friends. In the aftermath, as the boys regroup in their car, Siaz recounts the chilling image of the woman kneeling on the ground, surrounded by police, staring at him with a maniacal smile, as if straight out of a horror movie. The vlog continues with Siaz reflecting on the experience from the safety of his home. He revisits the footage, noting that the woman can be heard shouting threats, warning them to stay out of her woods or face deadly consequences.
Dat is legit wat ze heeft geroepen, maar ik heb maar de helft op beeld. Dus je hoort, vermoord ik jullie.
Siaz also reveals that the woman had approached their car, removed their license plate and hid it, seemingly with the intent of luring them back into the darkness where she could ambush them. Once again, it's super lucky that no one was harmed during this harrowing incident.
Hallo. What the... What the... Hey! That was last night's stealth camp, right next to the forest of Box Hill. I would highly recommend this place.
Will's Whereabouts is a popular travel and camping YouTube channel based in the UK. The host, Will, drives around the UK in his van, sharing tips and tricks for his audience. However, in this episode, while camping in Box Hill, an ancient wooded area southwest of London, something eerie happens in the dead of night. He begins by making a campsite meal as the sun sets on the forest. Will then settles in for the night and tries getting some sleep. However, in the middle of the night, something terrifying wakes him up.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
Screaming can be heard in the distance.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
Initially, some viewers thought it could be a wild buck or some other wildlife, but Will says he thinks there were a few cars parked not far off in the distance in the park.
And some people screaming.
The screams sound like an eerie blend of pleasure and pain, and one has to wonder just what was going on deep in the woods in the middle of the night.
I don't think I'm going to be getting much sleep tonight.
Hope they're friendly.
Brendan, the face behind the popular YouTube channel Brendan Explores, is known for his solo camping adventures around the UK, where he delves into less travelled paths using his converted van for stealth camping. His videos typically showcase serene landscapes and the peaceful solitude of van life.
Nice view of the hills in the distance there.
However, a recent episode set in Jaywick, Essex, took an unexpected and harrowing turn.
Well, it's safe to say that what you're about to watch is probably the hardest and not very nicest video I've ever had to edit.
Jaywick, a seaside village near Clacton-on-Sea, has been frequently spotlighted in government reports as one of England's most deprived neighbourhoods. Despite its picturesque location, the area has struggled with socio-economic challenges, leading to a reputation for being rough around the edges. In an episode that starts like any other, Brendan ventures into Jaywick to find a quiet spot for the night, settling on a small car park, which initially seems perfect for a peaceful evening.
£6 for a night in Jaywick, to hopefully have a van that's still intact in the morning, as opposed to staying at the other place. Okay, let's do it. All right.
The tranquility is short-lived, however, as loud music from nearby flats soon fills the air. More and more, Brendan starts getting a bad feeling about the area.
Whenever you see someone walking down the road with a Halford special going past as well, playing music out of a portable speaker alone, that's a big red flag.
He eventually decides to relocate.
I don't know if I feel this car park or not. I'm going to follow my gut instinct. I'm not parking here tonight. Just got a funny feeling about it.
After a bit of searching, he finds a secluded spot on the edge of farmland, far removed from any streetlights or the hustle and bustle of residential areas.
This'll do me. I'm alone, but I mean, there's no other houses around me.
It's here that Brendan hopes to find the peace he initially sought.
Alrighty. Oh, nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car.
But peace wasn't on the agenda for the night. At around 2:30 AM, something truly unnerving happens.
I think someone's outside the back. Someone just tried the door. Hey!
Reacting swiftly, Brendan manages to yell and scare off the would-be thief, who disappears into the night as quickly as they had appeared.
Right, whoever the that was has now gone.
Shaken by the ordeal and faced with a broken window in the dead of night, Brendan makes the decision to abandon his camping spot. The event has taken a significant toll, prompting him to drive 3.5 hours back to his home, braving the freezing cold through the damaged window.
After cleaning a little bit of broken glass from my driver's seat and the dashboard, you'd be surprised how far glass goes. I made the long journey back home. I think it was a good 3.5 hour drive back to my house in Shrewsbury. Got there just before sunrise. Not a pleasant drive, to say the least.
Brendan's encounter in Jaywick has sparked conversations among his followers about the safety challenges of solo travel and stealth camping. While his journey often celebrates the beauty and solitude of exploring the secluded corners of the UK, this episode has undoubtedly added a cautionary tale to his collection of adventures, emphasising the need for vigilance and safety even in the most scenic locales.
Someone just tried the door.
Hey!
Alex, the videographer behind the popular TikTok account Camino de Patagonia, is known for capturing breathtaking scenes of nature and wildlife across South America. However, on May 12, 2020, while filming a mountain bike session in the remote mountains of Patagonia, Alex stumbled upon something deeply unsettling. Take a look.
Esto sería el canal que lleva. Uy, un Doberman.
There's a strange figure hanging from a tree.
Uy, un Doberman. Uy, un Doberman.
The unsettling discovery left Alex rattled, unsure of what he had encountered. To this day, Alex remains baffled by what he caught on camera. Theories abound, from the possibility of a creepy doll placed in the tree to scare off hikers, to a more disturbing scenario involving an unhinged local or even a robber lying in wait for an unsuspecting passerby. Despite the mystery, the footage has left a lasting impression on both Alex and his viewers, serving as a chilling reminder that even the most beautiful landscapes can hide dark secrets.
Canal que lleva. Uy, un Doberman.
When you go camping, you might expect to catch a glimpse of a squirrel, deer, or maybe even a bear. However, if this strange video posted to Dailymotion by Nils017 is to be believed, there might be more than just animals hiding among the trees. The footage was supposedly captured by a group of friends in Flacy, France. It's dark out, so they stand close to a roaring bonfire. The campers can be heard laughing and joking around, when suddenly their fun comes to an abrupt halt. A member of the group notices something strange moving in the darkness just beyond the trees. They toss a lit torch in the direction of the movement, hoping to get a better look at whatever it is. Suddenly, a small creature with grey skin peeks out from behind a tree. It appears to have large dark eyes and long fingers that slowly reach toward the burning torch. The cameraman attempts to get closer, however the creature quickly disappears into the darkness. While the figure's appearance certainly does resemble that of extraterrestrials often depicted in movies, others think that the creature might actually be some sort of earthly cryptid. Unfortunately, until more information comes to hand, this video, like so many others of this nature, will have to remain a mystery.
Welcome to a solo camping in a haunted cave video.
In the vast and often eerie expanse of the Australian outback, YouTube adventurer Matt Field, the face behind the popular YouTube channel Field Days, recently undertook a challenge that pushed the limits of both his courage and his audience's nerves. Known for his thrilling outdoor escapades, Matt, who boasts over 1.6 million followers, ventured into a location shrouded in dark rumours. A remote cave reputed to be haunted. The adventure begins innocently enough, with Matt setting out to perform a 24-hour solo camping challenge within the cave's shadowy depths.
We are steaming towards the cave right now, and once we find the cave, we're going to crawl inside. We are going to sleep there for the whole entire night.
The cave, whispered about in local lore and among his friends, is said to possess an unsettling presence.
One of my real good mates who lives just up here, he said to me, he went to visit this cave, he walked into the cave, he reckons that there's a man-made ladder which you can climb down, and as he was climbing down the cave, he had this super uneasy feeling, like he reckons it was like nothing he's ever felt before, like felt like he was like being watched.
Almost immediately upon entering, Matt reports a sensation of being watched.
Very strange sound. The first one was a rock falling. Way over there somewhere there was a rock which it just sort of like, it just rolled for ages and then it sort of just hit another rock on the bottom. But the second sound, I froze, man. I was like frozen, like I couldn't move. I was just waiting for something just to like whack me. It's just strange, very strange feeling in here. But when my mate said he's being watched, I'm feeling that feeling. I am 100% feeling uneasy in this cave right now.
As Matt settles in for the night, feasting on a can of baked beans, things start to get a little creepy.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my f***ing God. That was the sound.
Matt describes hearing inexplicable sounds as the night progresses.
It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that.
Chains rattling and whispering voices that seem to emanate from the very walls of the cave.
You can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even fork up. Holy shit.
Soon, things ratchet up a notch.
You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Holy shit. That's not normal, dude. Well, I'm freaking out.
2 hours pass and Matt gives an urgent update, and he's clearly very unsettled.
Well, I've got my backpack back on and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound, and I'm scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie. That sound, it was not normal. I've heard that sound again. So the only way I can describe this noise, it's between a cat hissing, and it sounds like human voice. Like, I'm not even joking. It sounds human-like.
Despite the mounting fear and the chilling encounters, Matt decides to stay the night after briefly contemplating an early exit.
Something has to move this.
With no comfort but a jagged rock for a pillow, he endures the unnerving sounds and sights until dawn.
I'm just gonna sit here for the rest of the night, lean up against this wall. There's my bag. I'm just gonna lean up against that wall there, and I'm gonna stay close to the entrance of the ladder, because that sound I heard before, it is... I can't even describe it. You can't make that sound.
So could this cave truly be haunted? Matt's harrowing experience seems to suggest there might be truth to the legends. Skeptics might argue that the isolation and the cave's foreboding history could heighten one's senses and conjure illusions. However, the vividness of Matt's encounter, coupled with the historic tales of unexplained phenomena associated with the site, offers compelling evidence for believers in the paranormal.
In a haunted cave? Oh my f***ing God.
Matt's adventure in this so-called haunted cave has not only garnered significant attention, but has also sparked a broader discussion about the mysteries that might lurk in the remote corners of the Australian outback. Whether believer or skeptic, viewers can't help but be drawn to the chilling tale of Matt Field's night in a cave that might just be as haunted as the stories suggest.
You can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even fork up. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God.
Alright guys, we were walking through the woods, and right in the middle of this trail we found this pipe.
The YouTube channel Action Adventure Twins, run by a pair of identical twins known for exploring remote and dangerous locations, recently uploaded an episode that's left their viewers spooked. In this adventure, the twins are hiking through a dense forest when they stumble upon a mysterious pipe that seems to descend deep underground.
Holy crap, guys, check this out. We're back at the mystery pipe. We hear water down there too. There's like a whole river down there or something. Maybe it's a cave.
Their curiosity piqued, the brothers decide to lower a GoPro down the pipe to see where it might lead.
I don't know, we got a brighter flashlight. Let's see what we can see. Alright.
As the camera descends deeper into the darkness, it eventually opens up into a large underground cave network. However, it isn't the visuals that left the twins and their viewers unsettled. It's the sounds. Take a listen. The camera's microphone picks up eerie, unexplainable noises. Sounds like heavy breathing, as if someone or something is lurking in the pitch black darkness. The unsettling sounds continue, growing more and more disturbing as the camera remains at the cave's floor. Eventually, the twins quickly reel the camera back up, unaware of what they've just captured. It wasn't until they reviewed the footage while editing the video that they realised the full extent of what they had recorded. To this day, no one's been able to identify the source of those chilling sounds. Could it be an animal deep within the cave, or something more mysterious? The episode has sparked endless speculation among followers, leaving everyone wondering what truly lies hidden in that underground cavern. Many people believe that strange creatures still lurk in the far reaches of the earth. Known as cryptids, these mysterious beasts are yet to be classified by modern science. This footage, uploaded to YouTube by Vision Paranormal, might just show one such cryptid, the legendary Wendigo. The Wendigo is a mythological creature that originates from North American folklore. It's described as having huge antlers, an emaciated body, a nauseating stench, and in some cases a heart made of ice. However, its most terrifying characteristic is its insatiable craving for human flesh. Even when it's just fed, its hunger isn't satisfied. Legends say that humans can also be possessed by the Wendigo, causing them to turn against their own kind. The YouTuber who shared this footage claims it comes from the recovered camera of a young couple who disappeared after getting lost while hiking in the Emerson County forest. As the footage begins, we can see the dense foliage as the couple walks along a path. Suddenly, the camera stops moving as their voices can be heard discussing something that they've spotted in the trees.
Do you see that? Over there, look, over there. Do you see that?
What the hell?
If you look closely, you can see a shape moving through the thicket. However, it's difficult to tell whether it's extremely well camouflaged or actually semi-transparent.
I don't like this.
You see that? Right there. Look.
Oh my god.
They watch it for a few seconds before it lets out a terrifying screech.
I don't like it.
Okay, fuck. Go.
The hikers quickly run, the camera jostles violently, but we can still hear the creatures shrieking as it chases them through the trees. A few seconds later, the camera falls to the ground and the sounds fade into the distance. So did these hikers really fall victim to the legendary Wendigo? Whatever it is in the video blends into its surroundings so well, it's difficult to tell just what it is.
Over there, look, over there. Do you see that?
What the hell?
So what do you think this mysterious video actually shows? Let me know your theories in the comments down below.
I don't like this.
You see that? Right there. Look.
Oh my god. That's not an animal. I don't like it.
Okay, fuck. Go.
Don't know if I'm going to camp here again.
Grizzly Gaz, a well-known UK YouTuber, beloved for his camping and adventure content, recently experienced a spine-tingling incident during one of his familiar woodland escapades. Known for his explorations across the country, Gaz often brings his audience along for overnight stays in remote and sometimes eerie locations.
Hello?
This particular episode saw him return to a previously frequented camping spot, notorious not just for its natural beauty, but also for past, unsettling occurrences.
So, I just want to recap a little bit on this place, on this camp. I've been camping here for about 4 or 5 years. When I found it, the fire pit was just all covered in moss, so no one had been down there for at least 10 years. Or used the fire pit anyway for 10 years.
In earlier visits, Gaz has encountered the sounds of wild boar near his tent, and even dealt with a would-be thief tampering with one of his trail cameras. Despite these incidents, the allure of the familiar spot draws him back for another overnight stay, this time accompanied by his loyal French bulldog, Fendi. The evening begins typically with Gaz setting up camp and starting a small barbecue.
Alright, we've got steaks on go now.
However, it's at this point that things turn a little creepy.
And I've got a visitor.
A strange man suddenly appears out of the surrounding darkness, asking Gaz for a light.
Creeped up behind me asking me if I had a light. I shit me pants. This is Martin anyway.
Gaz, ever the hospitable outdoorsman, not only provides a light, but generously offers one of his steaks to the unexpected visitor.
Didn't do much filming because of that lad, Martin, who creeped up behind me asking for a light. We were homeless, so I fed him some steak.
The encounter quickly shifts from peculiar to unsettling, as the man, after receiving Gaz's kindness, disappears back into the woods without a word of thanks or farewell.
We were homeless, so I fed him some steak and some mashed potato, and he's gone on his way.
Gaz, unnerved by the man's abrupt departure and peculiar demeanour, can't shake off a growing sense of dread about the man's true intentions.
Thinking, is he going to come back? Because he wasn't a normal homeless person, if you know what I mean. After I fed him, he scurried straight off.
Fearing that the visitor might return under the cover of darkness with less than honourable intentions, Gaz makes the decision to pack up and leave the site and head back to the safety of his car.
The more I think about it, the stranger it gets. Fed that lad, and when I turned back round, he'd gone. And I just found that really strange.
The next morning, Gaz returns to the campsite to retrieve his trail camera, which he had left behind in haste from the previous night.
But I left my trail camera here. So, let's see what that's captured, if anything.
Upon arrival, however, he discovers that the camera's missing.
Oh, trail camera's gone. That's where it was, on this tree.
This seems to confirm his fears that the mysterious man might have had ill intentions.
So, my gut instincts were right, weren't they? To leave.
This chilling episode adds a layer of mystery and caution to Grizzly Gaz's adventures, reminding both him and his viewers of the unpredictable nature of remote camping. While the identity and motives of the strange man remain unknown, the disappearance of the trail camera seems to suggest that Gaz's instincts were correct. and that sometimes a quick retreat is the best decision when faced with the unknown in the wilderness.
You went round here in a poncho a couple of months ago, were you?
I don't think I was.
Right, gonna get these cooked up.
Meandering up this way in the evening.
Novice Wild Camper, an up-and-coming YouTube channel dedicated to wilderness camping in the UK, has posted a series of videos that have left viewers unnerved. In the first video, the camper sets up a hammock deep in a quiet, secluded forest. As night falls, the peaceful surroundings quickly turn unsettling. The serenity of the woods is broken by strange, unidentifiable noises.
I don't like it here.
The camper, visibly uneasy, attempts to investigate the source of these disturbances, but finds no explanation.
It's full of creatures and animals running around, and twigs on the floor, so you hear everything snapping and cracking and breaking. There's a huge amount of noises around here. I've picked a chestnut tree wood, so there are chestnuts crashing around constantly. Sounds like Bigfoot's throwing rocks at the hammock.
As the night progresses, the situation becomes more alarming. A rock is suddenly thrown near the hammock.
Suddenly by my hammock, a massive thud hits the ground and bounces. And I jumped up, unzipped it, put my torch on, and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there when I went to bed.
And later, a large branch crashes down nearby.
This doesn't land coming down, it bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out.
With his nerves frayed, the camper hastily packs up and leaves the area, vowing to never return. After spending the night in his car, the YouTuber says he spotted a man on the side of the road. Listen as he recalls the eerie conversation he had with this strange man.
And there's a man just walking down the road by me, and he saw me and he went, "All right." And I was like, "Well, all right." And he went, "You been camping in the woods?" I said, "Yeah, just a little hammock camp." And he says, he went, "You're brave." I said, "Why is that?" And he went, "People have done it before, no one's lasted." I said, "What do you mean?" And he just laughed and he went, "You know what I mean." I walked off.
Despite his vow to never return to these woods, the story doesn't end there. After several months and a flood of comments from his followers urging him to revisit the site, the camper reluctantly decided to return, this time armed with more advanced equipment, infrared cameras and motion detectors. In the highly anticipated part 2, the YouTuber bravely ventures back into the same forest.
Flames Creed quilt.
As he sets up camp and the night falls, the familiar, unsettling noises begin once again.
I might switch off for a second. It could just be someone walking a dog or something down the main track. That was closer.
Determined to uncover the truth, he starts filming with his new infrared camera. What he captures is nothing short of terrifying.
Nothing around there. What is that? There's two handprints.
There's fresh handprints on a nearby tree. Handprints that weren't there just minutes before.
I swear that wasn't there. too.
The discovery leaves both the camper and his viewers questioning what exactly is happening in these woods. Is it the work of a prankster, an unknown creature, or something even more sinister? The mystery remains unsolved, but one thing's clear: these woods are far from ordinary.
There's two handprints.
This next chilling camping encounter was uploaded to the YouTube channel Noah and Sam. The uploader says that they decided to pull over and sleep the night in their truck in a forested area in Sun River in the United States.
But a few days ago, I was camping in Sun River, and what I thought would be a good location to pull over to the side of the road in like this forest area and sleep.
The OP managed to capture some GoPro footage of the terrifying encounter that unfolded in the middle of the night. Watch.
How am I supposed to get him away? He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked right in there. I'm scared forever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here.
It's pitch black in the middle of the forest at 2:30 AM. You can hear someone walking around the truck.
He's walking around. I don't get it. He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck.
Luckily, the truck is locked, but the person continues to tap at the vehicle.
The canopy, the back door's locked right in there. I'm scared forever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here. I'm so scared right now.
The next morning, you can see someone clearly trying to look into the back of the truck.
He was trying to peek in my truck quite a bit with all these marks. I didn't even notice until I got home.
There's handprints all over the car.
Handprints there.
The person even dragged their finger from one end of the truck to the other.
Dragging his finger on my side of my truck, trying to get inside my truck. That's really all I could tell from when he was walking around.
So why was there a person walking through the forest in the middle of nowhere at 2:30 AM? The uploader even says that the person didn't have a torch or any light source of any kind, so they were just walking around in pitch black out in the woods. They tapped and scratched at the truck in the middle of the night, then vanished. This is indeed a chilling encounter, and we're just glad the uploader made it out safely.
He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked right in there. I'm scared forever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here.
In the latest installment from the YouTube channel Roadie, the channel's owner, a free-spirited adventurer known for his North American camping trips, shares a chilling experience that disrupted what was supposed to be a peaceful night's rest. The YouTuber, who's cleverly converted the back of his 2003 Toyota Tacoma into a cozy camping nook, complete with a bed and bench, found himself in an unsettling situation that turned his calm evening into a tense ordeal. After a weekend away with friends, the YouTuber was on his way home when he decided to pull over for the night. It had gotten late, and a secluded little roadside parking lot appeared to be the perfect spot to safely tuck in for the evening. However, at around 1:30 AM, the tranquility of the night is shattered by the sounds of footsteps circling his vehicle.
So it was probably around like 1:30 in the morning when I heard someone walking around my truck.
A strange man can be seen pulling out his phone and taking pictures of the truck.
I'm not sure why he was doing this, so I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to park there and he was taking pictures of my license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning.
The man methodically makes several laps around the vehicle, snapping photos from various angles.
Comes back around and tries to shine his flashlight into the back of my camper shell. You'll see here in a second.
Concerned for his safety and unsure of the stranger's intentions, the YouTuber decides to take action. In an attempt to assert his presence and scare off the unwelcome visitor, he bangs loudly on the window of his truck.
So yeah, that was basically it. he took off and I hopped out of my truck.
This sudden noise is enough to startle the man, who quickly retreats into the darkness of the night. Thankfully, the situation didn't escalate further and the ordeal ended without any confrontation or injury. This eerie night will likely resonate with Rhodey's audience, many of whom are fellow travellers and campers, reinforcing the need to always be aware of one's surroundings, especially when settling down for the night in remote or secluded areas.
And tries to shine his flashlight into the back of my camper shell, you'll see here in a second, and I just bang on the window, and he takes off running.
Our final clip of the day comes from Reddit user Extra Dimension 276, who shared a chilling piece of footage captured while camping deep in the wilderness of New Brunswick, eastern Canada in early 2024. The user was enjoying the tranquility of the woods when they heard an unusual noise. It started with the alarm call of a pileated woodpecker, a common bird in the area, but what followed was anything but ordinary. Take a listen.
What the f was that? I heard some there.
The sound was unlike anything the user had ever heard before. They noted that it didn't match the calls of familiar wildlife such as lynxes or other known predators in the region. Despite their efforts to identify the source, the exact animal behind the growl remains a mystery. The sound was so intense it seemed to vibrate at a frequency too low for the microphone to fully capture. Could this be an undiscovered creature, or perhaps a rare elusive animal rarely heard in the wild? Whatever the case, this footage has sparked much speculation among those who have watched it, leaving everyone to wonder what lurks in the remote wilderness of New Brunswick.
Now, if you want to watch some more scary ghost clips, then click these links right there. They'll keep you entertained well into the evening, we promise. Leave us some comments down below, smash that thumbs up button. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.